24 years of American history has allowed our country to default, and it's my sincere hope that this Congress will not be the first.
There's been a ton of talk about what will happen if the United States hits the debt ceiling. So what is the debt ceiling? The debt ceiling is a limit on how much the government can borrow. Congress has the power of the purse. It tells the executive branch how much to spend and how much it can expect to receive in taxes. When Treasury faces a deficit, it sells bonds to make up the difference. The debt ceiling is a cap, set by Congress, on the value of those bonds. Right now, we are close to hitting the debt ceiling, which means the Treasury Department could lose the ability to pay the nation's bills.
If we don't raise the debt ceiling, we're deadbeats.
Here's the math that has economists worried. The Treasury would likely miss about 30% of the payments it makes daily. Payments to state governments, Social Security recipients, bondholders, and more. That's bad enough, but what has people really worried is the effect on world markets. If Treasury begins to miss payments, it's what is called a sovereign default.
It would mean massive disruption the world over, and we would be at risk of tipping yet again into recession.
World markets will be watching closely. Even the threat of a sovereign default could mean worldwide crisis. Investors who have traditionally thought of the United States as a safe harbor could panic. Some analysts fear that a sovereign default might well be worse than when Lehman Brothers collapsed in 2008.
Stocks all around the world are tanking.
It's an historic day with Wall Street shaken to its very foundation today.
Now, Treasury could in theory prioritize payments to bondholders, but that means stiffing federal workers and local governments and might not even be legal. It's all uncharted waters. So what does this mean for the average American? Before you go out and buy cartons of cigarettes and prepare for a barter economy, consider that Congress has not allowed the Treasury to default in more than 200 years. Investors have gotten used to the idea that Congress waits until the last minute to solve this problem, which is why investors are not panicking, at least yet.